When a woman wants to give you her body, her precious time, and her entire feminine submission, she will not announce it with words. She will not say, "I'm available." Instead, her actions speak louder than her words. And if you're really paying attention, you will notice the signs, soft, subtle signals hidden in emotion, psychology, and intuition. Some men miss them because they expect something clear. But attraction is hardly clear. It hides in the silence, in the eye contact, in everything she does when you are not even touching her. Now, listen carefully. Every woman has a different character, a different past, and a different level of confidence. But when she wants to give herself to you, specific behaviors emerge in almost every one of them, not because she was trained to do it, but because physically, psychologically, and emotionally, her body begins responding to you before her thoughts can control it. One of the first signs comes out in her presence. Pay close attention to how she behaves around you. A woman who doesn't desire you will keep distant. She will protect her vitality. But a woman who wants to give herself to you can't resist moving toward you, like gravity, slight but undeniable. She sits closer than necessary. She looks for ways to stay close to you. Even in a crowd, her body will gradually move toward yours. Attraction makes her nervous. Her mind wants to keep it cool, but her body betrays her. And it's not just the physical proximity, it's also the comfort. She surrenders her defenses. Her voice becomes softer around you. She laughs more often, smiles faster, and her presence loses that defensive tension that women have when they are nervous. If a woman wants you, her armor falls off naturally. Then there are her eyes. Men believe desire looks like a seductive stare, but in human psychology, the most telling sign is when she looks at you and looks away swiftly. That slight, hesitant break of eye contact is deep. It indicates you made her feel something she wasn't ready to disclose. Her nervous system responds before her brain can hide it. That is why desire is rarely loud, it's trembling, fragile, and natural. She might look at your lips as you talk. She might bite her lip. She might touch her neck or her hair. These are subconscious signals her body sends while her desires are arising. And if she trusts you, truly trusts you, you'll see something else. She begins to share personal details. Not random occurrences, but things she doesn't tell everybody about, her fears, her insecurities, and why she got hurt in the past. Because a woman will never offer her body to a man she cannot emotionally trust. For her, intimacy is not only physical, it's mental. She needs to feel secure, protected, and understood. If she opens her heart, even in small ways, she is willing to open every part of herself to you. But the strongest sign is this: she begins picturing you in her world. She asks questions such as, "Would you ever," or "What if we?" She examines how you think, not because she's confused, but because she wants to make sure that giving herself to you will not be a mistake. Women cannot allow just any man inside their world. They choose wisely. And when she's very close to choosing you, she starts to imagine you in her future, whether she says it openly or not. These signs are quiet but powerful, yet many men dismiss them, hoping for something bold and clear. But by the moment the signs get clear, she has already given up on him. If you've noticed these signs before, it wasn't a coincidence. It was yearning, trying to express itself without words. If a woman wants to give herself to you, she starts showing her desire through actions that she can deny with words but never with actions. And one of the most obvious signs is how her mood changes around you, not drastically, but profoundly. With others, she is polite, calm, and perhaps reserved. But around you, there's a spark, a different tone in her voice. You touch her emotionally, even with something as simple as eye contact. She becomes playful, sarcastic, or unusually kind. Sometimes she becomes timid without understanding why. And here's where the psychology becomes powerful: a woman gets nervous around a guy who is valuable to her. If she is completely comfortable, uninterested, and emotionally flat, there's no tangible attraction there. But if she's trying to act confident while battling an inner turmoil of emotions, that's desire in disguise. Her body tenses, her breathing changes, and her pupils grow larger. She feels overwhelmed by sentiments she does not understand how to hide, because you are not just a man, your presence is a stimulant. Another sign, she begins to touch you more than necessary. Soft, unintentional. A brush of her hand, fixing your collar, adjusting your bracelet. Women don't touch men who they don't desire. Physical contact is her strategy to figure out how your body feels, how you respond, and how comfortable you are for her to move closer. She wants to get used to your skin before she has the courage to completely possess it. And then follows the emotional shift. If a woman is ready to give herself to you, she does not protect her ego around you. She forgives you quickly. She smiles even when she is irritated. She cares what you think. If your point of view unexpectedly matters to her more than it should, she has fallen under your influence. Women do not give in to men they can't respect. If she is letting you control conversations, decisions, or situations, she is telling you something without a word. And here's a painful psychological reality: a woman's behavior gets contradictory when her attraction to a man is deeper than she can confess. She could pull away for a while and come even closer. She can act aloof, then suddenly warm. That paradox is not confusion, it's fear of how passionately she wants you. She tries to cover up her sentiments, but her desire keeps dragging her back. That push and pull is one of the obvious signs she's battling with herself. But there is a deeper layer most guys never detect. When a woman wants to give herself to you, she starts studying you the way nobody else does, not your body, but your mind. She watches what makes you furious, what makes you gentle, and what makes you weak, strong, or human. Because a woman cannot give in to a guy she doesn't understand. She needs to know your personality not for curiosity, but for intimacy. If you have ever caught a woman staring at you while she thought you weren't looking, her eyes were not only admiring you, she was memorizing you. Women study the men they desire, silently, deeply, and subconsciously. She wants to know whether you are as profound as her desire. And when she discovers who you are, her walls start to crumble piece by piece. The signs are there if you know how to identify them. There comes a time in every woman's life when her body begins to reveal something that her mouth is still scared to speak. And one of the major signs is anticipation. A woman who wants to give herself to you doesn't only appreciate your presence, she waits for it. She checks her phone more regularly. She responds quickly, even when she claims she's busy. She remembers little details of what you said because your words don't just land in her ears, they resonate in her mind. And if she's really invested, she will do something simple but powerful. She begins adjusting herself around you, touching her hair, reapplying lip gloss, and straightening her posture. Everyone assumes women dress up just for themselves. Psychology says another thing. When a woman wants to give her body to a man, her presentation becomes deliberate. Thoughts of you shape the way she looks, smells, positions herself, and even breathes. She wants to be admired by the one she desires. But there's a deeper sign, the one men barely understand. She gets jealous, not openly, not with drama, not with screaming, but with strange silence. A change in her tone, a little pause when another woman's name comes up in conversation, that slight discomfort in her face when she notices another woman's presence. A woman doesn't become jealous over a man she considers as temporary. She becomes jealous over a man she's already considered as her own. If she is trying to hide it, that makes it much more real. Another sign is how she reacts to your touch, not big, common touches, but delicate ones, your hand caressing her lower back as you go through a crowd, your fingers touching hers when you pass something. If she is comfortable with touch rather than pulling away, that's not comfort, that's consent. And if she leans in, gets closer, or dissolves into the moment, she's not thinking anymore. She's feeling because passion destroys logic. And when a woman is ready to give herself to you, her logical mind starts to lose control. Stop overthinking, stop analyzing every move. She allows herself to feel comfortable in your company. Her barrier collapses, and her feminine energy gets warmer, softer, and more vulnerable. But the most surprising sign is that a lady will test you directly before she gives herself to you. She wants to find out what kind of man you really are, not how you behave when everything is smooth, but how you react when she is emotional, aloof, or unhappy. If she wants to give you her body and loyalty, she needs to see your strength, your understanding, and your stability. So she might pull away, ask an interesting question, or test your mindset, not to create issues, but to prove you are the man she feels secure submitting to. Because for a woman, intimacy is not only physical, it is psychological vulnerability. Her body is the last door she opens. If she is unlocking it, intentionally or unintentionally, she is already allowing you in. If these signs sound familiar, you were closer than you imagined. When a woman is on the threshold of intimacy, fully ready to surrender herself to you, her voice changes before her body changes. She talks softly, slower, and more passionately. There's a different tone when she speaks to you, like every word has been chosen with purpose. Her speech becomes an avenue between what she feels and what she's afraid of speaking about. Some men assume this is just flirtation, but it's not, it's a weakness getting through. And here's the most important psychological reality: a woman only becomes gentle with a guy she feels secure with. If she teases you but never crosses the boundary, if she opens up but never embarrasses you, if she becomes emotional but never disrespects you, she's telling you she trusts you with her femininity. And when a woman trusts you emotionally, her body follows automatically.